Hi, it's Jill with Quick Flicks again. This is 3 or 4 days in a row now, and I'm pretty proud of myself. What I'm working on now is this beautiful little ballerina. Oh my God, I just think she's so freaking cute. And I'm going to show you what all I'm did to her. I have some of them already done. I guess I'll start with the ones that I would like to start drying. And I was going to tell you, you'd be so proud because I became so prepared and I forgot one thing. So I did talk my husband into building me a shelf over this crate, pretty high, so that I can put my spinner things on it instead of having to move them all the time. Again, I mentioned in another video, I know a lot of people think I need to just enlarge this room by knocking a wall in that room and combining them. But about the time we would get that work done, I would be done doing this. So that is not an option. Not going to do it. Okay, now I'm going to be using the Ranger Gloss Accents. And this I'm going to be using in the eyes like I always do. There's a lot of other places that I find. Anytime I make something and let's say the image has glasses on, I use this on the glasses to make it appear to be glass. The eyes, they glow, or they stand out, they pop out more, and they enhance the color of whatever the eyes are on your image. I swear by this stuff, and I'm trying to think. I buy it by, I wish they sold it by the bucketfuls, but I always have to have a ton of that on stock. What I'm going to be using here are 3 different colors of liquid pearls by Ranger. I didn't like the liquid pearls for a long time and I never used them. I always used strictly glitter, but I've learned to use the liquid pearls in a different way and I really like them. I'm going to be using Bisque. I'm going to be using Ballerina. Oh, that's pretty ironic because it is Ballerina. I didn't know the name of the color was that. White Opal. And then I'm going to be using one of the Stickles glitters, which is my pink what? Taffeta. Love it. Love this particular pink. And I'm going to use my little pearls here that I get at Hobby Lobby. And there's 75 feet come in a row. They're $9.99 for a row of 75 feet. However, they are on 50% off every other week. The 1 week that paper and if you go to Hobby Lobby, what's their brand? Studio Paper, I think, something Studio. But when that stuff is on sale, the following week, anything in the Notions fabric, trims, this type of thing is on sale. So it's every other week pretty consistently. So if you go there and you spend $9.99, you went the wrong day. I'm going to be using Paper Studio, what I was saying. That's the brand for Hobby Lobby. The Paper Studio. I've got some packets of flowers here. They've already been opened, so each one may be different than the other. But I'm going to start out with doing the glossy eyes. And how many do I have here to do? I've already done 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. These are going to be a total of 3 when I'm done. So if I got 3, then that means I have 6 printouts. And I'm just going to put the glossy around the eyes. And when that is dry, I will go back and do the little white dazzles in the eye. Now what I do with this, because it gets clogged a lot, is I tap it on my table to get anything that's in the lid off. I take a wipes and I wipe the lid off, and then I squeeze it, but I squeeze it while I have the wipes on it, because I always call it burping it. I want to make sure that this does not have any of the Accent Essentials liquid in it, because it will clog, and it'll clog every time. And rather than what I found, what I used to do is just take a paper clip or a heavy T-pin. I'm sorry guys, I don't know what happened here. I just anyway, okay. And I used to unclog it with that. But what I found, or realized, I shouldn't say found, realized, and I should have known that from the beginning, was when I push it down with a pin and I unclog it, the clog falls down in here. And in this stuff in particular, or the glitter, doesn't matter what it is, the clog is going to be a little glob. And it's going to go back in there again. So I don't do it that way anymore. I make sure that there's nothing here. I can't burp like the glitters. So what I do with those, if they clog, if a color is starting to clog a lot, what I do is, if I have one that never clogs, this is pretty redundant, but if I have a color that never clogs, because these are worse than anything, is when I'm done with it and I throw it away, I take the tip off of it, or I keep the bottle empty and leave it aside. I have plenty of space for trash. Not, but anyway, I try and make space. And then when I go to use the next tube of this, or bottle, if the tip keeps clogging on me, I take the one off of the old empty one and swap the tips out, and that works every time. I do not know why some of them clog so bad. I get some and I'll have 5 of one color and 2 or 3 of them will clog. They're horrible. And I think it has to do with the age of how long it sits on the shelf. I would say it has something to do with shelf life. I'm not sure. That's just what would make sense to me. And the same thing goes with these. I haven't had an issue with them clogging. Now that I said that, it'll happen today. Because with the liquid pearls, I haven't had an issue with it clogging. Anyway, now with that being said, let me move forward here and do my glittering on her little tutu. Now, I've had people, believe it or not, ask to show glittering, and I'm hoping you can see this because they're just not sure how I do it and keep a thin line. When you're glittering, it is very, very important that you not squeeze your tube too tight, and when you find how much pressure you need to use to have your glue come out evenly and thin, it will become muscle memory. You will know when you go to use them how much pressure to apply, because again, I've been doing this for years, and so I guess that's why I'm muscle head, because my muscle memory tells me how much to squeeze. And if you're on a tube of glitter and it starts to do the spitting where you're going along and you're making good timing, getting all your glitter on there, and then all of a sudden this thing decides to spit a glob. And of course you've got to get it off because you want nice straight lines. You don't want globs right in the middle of your lines. That happens a lot when you start to get low on a bottle. So what I do, if I'm getting low on a bottle and have a small job to do, which this would not be a small one because I'm going to be using a lot of glitter because I've got 6 pieces to do. So I'm going to be using a lot. And I have a brand new bottle. But if you have bottles that are pretty empty and a small job to do, use those up first. And you make sure that when you're going after each line, what I do is I shake it, because if you don't, I mean, a lot of it sticks to the walls and a lot of sticks to the bottom. And if you just throw it away because it's starting to spit too much and you're wasting, throwing it away, you're wasting as well, because it will come off of the sides. When you shake it, it will come down where it will come out. But I would only do that on a project that's real small lines that you're doing. If they're spitting out, I won't use them where I've got to make a lot. I just stuck my finger in that. Can you believe it? I can believe it. I can fix it now because I just put this on there. But what makes me mad when I do that is I have to do this all over again. And there, whoop, just spit out. Anyway, I forgot, I'm in mid-sentence here, but what I was talking about is shaking your bottle down and get as much out of it, Or sometimes what I do is I take the tip off of it, and my husband gets so mad because I bang it on the table, and I keep banging it really hard on the table with the lid off. And I actually do it right on my desk glass top. I don't do it on a sheet of paper. Sometimes I do it into the another bottle, but it all depends on how much is in there that I'm trying to get out. But I will take the tip off and hammer it on the table to get out all that I can. And I have glass areas that have glass tops on it that I do a lot of things that would stick to wood. Glass is great for hot gluing. It doesn't stick. It's easy to get off. I'm getting some globs here. Anyway, and then with this lid off, I just take my finger on where I took it off and then just put it in. Sounds really messy, gross, or whatever, but it's a lot easier than trying to use a spatula. You know, there's all sorts of tools that you have that might work, but to me, I just use my finger, and then I just like I would shampoo and rinse. If I get too much in my hand, I just put it in, rub the bottle tip on my palm. But pretty easy. And that didn't make any sense either, but that's okay. We're going to move her because I'm not going to do her right now, because I want to show you how I'm now on her laces, on her leggies. I don't want to hold her up too long because remember, I've got the glossy inner eyes, and I do not want them running and drooping in her face. It would not be good. I'm going to use my Ballerina pink, and that is what I'm going to use to do the strings, ballet slippers, ribbons. And the Ranger brand of liquid pearls, it's called liquid pearls. The other ones are Nouveau that I use, and they're called drops, I think, crystal drops. I use these as well, but the liquid pearls are much easier to work with. I don't know why it is. They're a lot smoother. I have a tendency to get, I do like the Nouveau. I use it, and I use it a lot. I use whatever I have, but my preference, as far as easy to work with and not having an issue with it constantly clogging, I would recommend the liquid pearls. So I just did the little ribbons on her ankles here. Oh, I don't think her eyes. I'm trying to think if this is one I'd already had done. So there you see her little laces with the liquid pearls. And I'm going to let her dry, and I'm going to take one that I did earlier and show you how I'm going to finish her up. First thing I'm going to do is make sure my hot glue gun is up and running. Oh. And it is. I know why I might be coughing. My husband just made dinner. He made a shrimp pasta dinner. That man can cook. Everybody says, oh, I'm so spoiled. I have to tell everybody, remember, I did it for 45 years. It's his turn now. And besides that, I work and take care of kids and stuff. So my husband, bless his heart, does all the laundry, cleaning, cooking, running for me if I need something, because he knows how much I hate to run errands. My kids like it when I have to run errands because they said, at least you know I'm getting out of the house. I don't go out much, but I'm doing better now. Now that I started going to the gym, I get out a lot more often. Okay, these pearls, she has little pearls around here on the top of her outfit. So I'm just going to use the smallest. I don't know if they have smaller. I'm going to say that these are the smallest pearls I have. I think they will do just fine. Now I'm going to hot glue them on, and I'm going to be very, very, very careful when I'm putting my hot glue on, because number one, I do not want a big glob of glue showing, but I also want to make sure that these are glued down completely, because I've had it trying to do like a dot here and put a little bead or pull little beads over and then put another dot and pull some over, whatever. And I have found that I'll get reports back that the pearls started to fall off. So I no longer do that. I just use a very, very, very fine line of the hot glue. Somebody's trying to come in my door. I don't know if it's my hubby or my puppy. Most likely my puppy, because my hubby knows how to push the door open and my puppy doesn't. Even though the door is really ajar. Not a door, it's a jar. Okay, that was just a dumb joke. But anyway, my door, when it is ajar, my puppy doesn't have, she's not a puppy, but yeah, she's a puppy. She can't get it open. Well, I shouldn't say she can't, because by God, if it was something she wanted really, really bad, she would get it open. She's my little runner. Man, if she gets out the door, she's gone. Okay, now I got the little pearls around her top of her tutu. Now I'm going to use the flowers that I got. Nope, I'm going to do this first. I'm going to take this Liquid Pearls Bisque. Let me see if there's a different color here that I might like better. This is why I need the shelf, guys. I do not have room for these things, and I have a lot of them. Let me see if I have a color. Bisque. Oh, I've got another one. Good. We're good. I got two when I ordered them. I have liquid pearls and glitter, and that whole entire wall, everything is full of that, because I go through so much of this, so much. You know, I think I went through an entire bottle of the pink, doing the laces. Maybe not an entire bottle, but a lot, and I still have one to go. So when I buy these, I make sure I get them at a good price, because I go through a lot. I'm going to go through the highlights in her hair with the bisque. I don't want to use the glitter in her hair. I want to have it more the texture of hair, although I don't know why I think this is the texture of hair, but I don't want it glittery. So it has all of these shade lines, or what do they used to be called? I know in the Cricut they used to, I can't remember what they called them. It'll come back to me when I'm in the middle of doing this. And they are the ones that I'm filling. I'm not filling, I'm just doing a real light line. I don't want to fill it in. There's no need for that. Just to make it look like little strings of hair. What is that called? I hate that when I forget what something's called, which I don't have any idea why I care. I had said earlier in a film I uploaded earlier that my son and daughter-in-law drove to Disney, taking my granddaughter, who is just 3. Well, no, she's not just 3. She's almost 3.5. To Disney World, and I wanted to go so bad. My husband and I were planning on going with them, not the whole family this time. Now the kids are getting older. I've got one in college and high school, and a couple of them in high school. They have so much going on that it's really hard for all of us to go at once. We won't be doing that every year like we did. We'll be going someplace nearby where if somebody can't go, they maybe can drive and meet for the weekend. And Disney's not a drive away. They drove, and I think it's 26 hours with a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old in the car. Thank God for iPads and internet. Anyway, they sent me some pictures this morning because they had breakfast with the princesses, and they sent me pictures of my granddaughter, and oh my God, just absolutely just makes me want to cry. How she looked like she was just going to absolutely burst. She was so excited, and for 6 months, that's all she's been talking about when she goes to Disney World. And so she is in heaven, and at the breakfast, she really was cheesing. There's a picture with Snow White, Cinderella, and Ariel. And Ariel and Cinderella happened to be a couple of her favorite princesses. So I imagine she was cheesing beyond cheesing. This is going to take a lot of flowers, my friend. I'm going to use a dark one on the shoe. No, I'm going to use a different style on the shoe. That's what I'm going to do. Thankfully, I got a lot of flowers here. It's going to take a lot. And when I go to Hobby Lobby, I better check out my pink flowers and see if they're on sale. Pretty much got my Christmas shopping done. Anybody who I haven't gotten done, which would be the grandkids, want money. So we all want money. But so I've got pretty much everything done. So now I have to wrap. And I have this idea of wrapping my packages. I saw it, not my idea. I saw it on Instagram or TikTok or something where they took the boxes and stacked them. It didn't matter what shape they were. They just, I do 3 things. Each one of my grandkids, the little ones, in kind of the middle age, you know, they're always paying attention. Boy, I got one thing and these guys got 6. Why? Well, it's hard with the little one, and it shouldn't make a bit of difference because it's lucky they got anything. But I just, to avoid problems, I do 3 little things, whatever. And when I box them, I'm going to stack them and make them a snowman. So they got to be wrapped in white. And then I bought a couple dozen stocking caps, which I don't know where I put them, stocking caps to put on them. And then I'm going to take one of their pictures of each one of them and blow it up on the Cricut software, or not Cricut, Silhouette, and put the face on the face of the snowman, the head. And I saw it somewhere, I don't know where, and it was so cute, and I think my grandkids would love that. And plus my kids would love it because when they come over on Christmas morning and they have to sort through whose is whose and whatever, it is a nightmare. So they will all be stacked together and a picture of them on it. So they'll be able to pick out their own gifts. Isn't that a cute idea? Somebody was brilliant that thought of that. It wasn't me. But anyway, I have picked out what I did on these flowers here. I'm going to do a dark and a light on that hair here. And then I picked out a different flower altogether for the ballet slipper. And oh, that noise I thought was my door is actually my cord from my glue gun. Okay. Oh, there we go. My husband got a sawdust, a tent for when he's working on his furniture, for the sawdust to keep it confined. So it's a tent for sanding, and he put it up in the garage, and it's like awesome. And I'm so glad he got it and everything. But I'm going to work out on my Oculus tonight. And I'm like, where am I going to do this? And he goes, well, where do you normally do it? I said, well, for the past few years, wherever I've done it, I've done it in the garage. And he said, well, do it in the garage. I said, there happens to be a big old tent right in the middle of the garage. So he put all of his tools, made tables for all of his tools. And every single tool has casters, wheels on them. So I'm out there pushing around his tools, or his tables, all over the place so I can make room for me to go out there and work out. So I don't work out with my Oculus during the summer months because of the heat. I get overheated, even if no matter where I am. It's just, I don't in the summer. So, I think I'm gonna love her. There we go. I got one done. I haven't put them together yet because I want to let them all dry. And then when I do piece them together, they'll be done. So I will piece them together before I upload this and take pictures of them completed. But I think she's adorable. I don't know how well you can see her, but when she's all done and I take pictures close up, yep, I do like her a lot. So anyway, there was nothing else on theirs. Oh yes, there was. One thing that I did is because on this little girl and her eyes, she does have the glimmer in the eye in that doesn't show with the glossy accents. Well, it doesn't show that well anyway. That hence the white pearl drops. Is I'm just going to put a little itty bitty tiny dot on where it is on her eye, and a little bit of the line that's right under that, the glimmer in her eye. That's what I did on them, which will show again. Oh, I just stuck my finger in the pink. Thankfully it's almost dry, so I didn't destroy it. I'm okay. Where did I touch it? Nope, it's all good. I didn't really even get it on me. I just felt it. But no, she looks fine. I thought I smooshed it, but it dries pretty quickly. To touch like that, it dries quickly. But to stack one on top of another to ship, no. Needs to dry for at least a few days. If you're shipping something out and it's not completely dry and you don't want it to stick, paper sticks really easy to it, then I have little bubble wrap bags that I stick over the pieces if they're smaller. Even on the larger ones, if it's the head, I have my husband put their head or whatever, anything that has something like a pearl drops that can get sticky, because they can stick together. So that's what I use to fix the problem. And I do see a little tiny bit here that totally fixable. It's kind of like painting. I painted murals on a bedroom wall when my daughter was little. It was Disney. Surprise, surprise. And I remember somebody asking me, what do you do if you make a mistake? That's the one thing about painting. You can always fix it. However, sometimes your image can get a lot bigger from fixing it, but it basically can be fixed. So I'm done for now. I'm going to go out there and play on my, now it's saying I'm on Siri. I don't want to be on Siri. Come on. What is it doing? Get rid of that. Okay. Alrighty. So thank you for watching, and everybody have a wonderful week. I will try and get something uploaded this week as well. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.